Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Iris Alliston Show, where I help entrepreneurs and experts be one of my experts for today. So today we actually have Gemma Clay, and she is in England, United Kingdom, and I'm so super excited to have her on here on the show. So let me just briefly tell you who I am before I introduce Gemma, because I also have slides that I want to share with you today on this show. So who I am, again, my name is Iris Alliston, and I'm the creator of Coaching for Masters, where I show coaches and entrepreneurs how to build their coaching business and have that freedom-based lifestyle. So let me go ahead and introduce Gemma, because I'm so super excited to have her on. You have no idea. I've been waiting on this opportunity for so long. So I do have a slide that I want to share with you today. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and hopefully that will work. Got to make this a little bigger. Hopefully that will. Can you see this, Gemma?
Yes, I can see
Okay.
it.
Awesome. So let me go ahead and introduce you properly. I have all these boxes that I see, and I have to move it. That way I can read all the text. So, all right. Oh, no, it went. This is what happens with technology, right? Okay, so here we are. We have Gemma Clay. She is the founder of Class PR, which teaches small businesses, startups, and marketing professionals around the world how to do their own PR and how to get major media coverage for their business through online courses and master classes. Gemma also helps businesses understand how to find their story, how to shape and understand the news value of their story, and then how to position it in the media. Gemma has worked in the PR industry for the last 15 years and counting. And in 2010, she founded one of the UK's leading healthcare PR agencies, ARC7 Communications, after helping clients achieve huge success with their brands by telling their stories in the media and helping to manage their reputation. She decided that she wanted to share her knowledge with a wider audience and co-founded Class PR with her husband and business partner, Alistair, to do just that. So what is Class PR? Well, Class PR now teaches small businesses, startups, and marketing professionals across the world on how to connect with influencers and journalists and get their message heard by millions. So as you can see, Gemma and her husband has been doing this for so long. And I'm so honored to have her on the show because she has some awesome nuggets to really share with us and tell us what's currently working in our industry today. So Gemma, I actually have a few questions. And I know right off the bat, I already have questions for you, right?
Okay.
But before we get started, I actually want to have you, just somewhat introduce yourself as far as how did you start in this business and what made you decide to create your own PR agency?
Oh, great question. I'd just like to say thank you so much for inviting me on your show today. I'm delighted to be here. I love hearing people's stories. I love sharing my stories. So I love taking part in podcasts. So thank you so much for having me here today. So that's a great question. Why did we set up our PR agency? And then I guess why did we do Class PR? But I think Alistair and myself were both working, the 9-to-5 jobs. Alistair's a former national journalist and he was currently head of press at an international charity at the time. And I was working in communications and marketing as well. And we both thought, well, why don't we've got very complementary skill set. I'm quite a strategist and enjoy running campaigns and building brands. And, he's always in the head in the newsroom and looking at headlines. So we've got a very complementary skill set. So we thought, well, why don't we work together so that we can run our own business And that's exactly what we did. We left our jobs. We were in London at the time, and we moved out into sort of the countryside, down in the southwest in the UK, to set up the agency. And it was during those early years when we encountered a lot of smaller businesses or a lot of startups, because we were in networking, we were meeting companies a similar size to ourselves, but those companies didn't quite have the budget to pay for a PR agency. I mean, we do typically in our agency work with larger brands, because you do pay agency fees and it's a long-term commitment to really make the PR work for you. So we, at the time when we were setting up, we were meeting such fascinating business people, entrepreneurs, all trying to sort of move their businesses forwards. And I thought, they've got such good stories that would be of interest to the media, but they obviously don't have the budget and they're not quite sure how to position themselves. And often they don't believe in their story that it could be newsworthy. So that's when I first got the idea then of thinking, right, what can we do to really help these businesses take advantage of their own story and use it to help them grow their business? And then as our agency grew, I was working a lot more with, marketing professionals, helping them, because our agency often works alongside in-house teams. So I was really coaching them and training them, and I would go into companies and deliver training. I thought, I love teaching. I love helping people. I love watching businesses grow. How can we, me and Alisa, pull all that together? And so we thought, right, we'll launch Class PR, an online training school for anybody who wants to learn how to do PR. And so we can sort of get our message worldwide. And it's been a fantastic success so far. I mean, we've obviously had to learn how to transition our agency into the digital space. But that's been a great challenge, but also really rewarding, so that we can learn lots of new things as well.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love your story. I really do. And you are so right in regards to a lot of entrepreneurs, and especially, startups who doesn't really have that budget to actually hire those big companies.
Yeah.
Still need to get their message out there, right? They still need to have those PR
Absolutely.
and get some exposure. So that brings me to this question, and let me go ahead and share my question.
Okay.
On here. And, because a lot of the coaches and entrepreneurs that I work with, I'm learning that oftentimes they struggle finding that compelling story, right? And every single one of us actually have our own story. So the thing is, what makes that, does every business have a story? Let me go ahead and just ask you that.
Yes. Okay, great. Yes. I firmly believe that every single business, every single charity, every single community group has a story that will be of interest, A, to the media, or B, to their bigger stakeholders or wider stakeholders. So everybody has a story, and everybody has an audience that will listen to that story. They'll get value from that story. They'll be interested. They will be engaged. So yes, in answer to your question, yes from me. But the issue is people, A, they don't believe that because they don't know where to look for it. You have to take a step back from your business, and you have to look at it objectively. And what we teach at Class PR is a method called Story Finder. And that helps you lay out your business right from your business model, your staff, your product, your customers, the impact that you're having. And we get you just take a piece of paper and then write everything that you think could be of interest about your brand or your charity or whatever you're doing. Just map it all out so you can see it on one A4 sheet of paper. And then you can go through each of those to see if it's going to be newsworthy. Because what the media are looking for, they're not necessarily looking for the biggest or the best or the people who are sort of most established. What they want is something new. They want something that is remarkable or unique. And I have confidence that everybody listening to this podcast will have something that is different about them, about their story, something that will be of interest. And like I said, you can find that in many different areas of your business. So Iris, I know that you work with a lot of maybe solo entrepreneurs or starters or founders. So their own personal story might be of interest to the media. They might have a really interesting backstory where they've overcome adversity to set up their business, or they might have something really quirky, because a lot of times the media works in terms of juxtaposition. So it could be the fact that they were a lawyer or a very high achieving lawyer, and then maybe they became a mum or a dad and they set up a business on the kitchen table making children's food or something. So they've gone from a really high flying lawyer down to setting something up on the kitchen table. So that contrast, that juxtaposition, that's something that they're looking out for as well. So it's about really having the confidence to scrutinize your business objectively and to see what other people might find interesting. But in answer to your question, yes, everybody has a story.
Yes, and everybody has that unique story, right? Because every single one of us have our own skills and values and personal story that is unlike than anyone else.
Yeah, and it can be you as the founder or the way that you run your business. It could be the model that you're using if you're disrupting a sector, or in your supply chain, where are you sourcing your goods, what's interesting, what's different. I mean, the media really, we have like a mantra that we ask every time. Is it new? Is it innovative? Is it remarkable? Or is it a first? Like, we're asking these questions because these are the lenses that the journalists are looking through to, you know, they get a pitch from somebody, they can automatically just scan it and they can pick out every single news criteria that is there, that they know what, as soon as you hear a story, a journalist knows what the headline's going to be. He or she knows what that opening paragraph is going to be, or that feature, or where they're going to shoot it. It's like it happens just as they're reading it. So if you can tick those boxes, if you can find out what a journalist is looking for in a story, you can give them what they need every time. It takes some training on your part, but you should have the confidence to start looking. Absolutely.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Which leads me to this though. So how do coaches and entrepreneurs know if the media will be interested in their story?
Okay, well, there's like a set of, as I sort of just hinted at there is a set of criteria that they're looking for. So are you doing something that's new, remarkable, innovative? That's the big sort of overarching sort of thing that you want to do. So you could be launching a product, you could be holding an event, you could be doing something for the first time, it could be new to the area. So if you're doing something that is remarkable or new, then you're in a good chance that the media will be interested in it. The second thing you want to look at is we dig a little bit deeper into those stories. So if it's something about a business, your business, say you're a dentist and you're running a small private practice, but are you doing something in the way that your business is operating that's seeing a change in your customers' behavior? So what's your impact on your customers, like in the way that your business operates? So if you're just a dentist, so are you doing more of a certain amount of treatment that's having a good impact on your customers? Is there a trend? Media look a lot for statistics and trends. So have a look at the way your business is operating. Is there something that you're doing that's innovative in the way you run it? Or are you changing your customers' lives in a meaningful way? So that's the first thing, have a look at your business and how it's operating. I then have a look at your personal story, human interest story, because the news is all about people. It's about emotion. It's about connecting people and generating that impact or that response. So have you got something that's interesting in your personal story, in the story of your staff? Are you doing, we call it something under extremes. Are you the first person to do something? Are you the oldest person or the youngest? We call it extreme. So if you're at either end of the scale, like if you're average and if you're normal, it's not always going to be of interest. But if you're doing something, if you're the first person to sail in a hot air, row a boat across the Atlantic or something, something like an extreme.
Radical, yeah.
Yeah, something radical. If you're doing something different, and then, so that's the human side. And then I think if you look at events-based things, so if this is a tried tactic of PR, is that you link into awareness days. So if you are, a hairdresser and it's National Hairdressing Day and you're putting on a stump within your local town, that's going to be of interest to the media. Or I don't know, if you're working with well-being coaches or lifestyle coaches and it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and you're people who work in somebody's business and you're doing a well-being week or something like that, the media are going to be interested because you're part of a larger story. And that's another little tactic you can use. It's called newsjacking, or piggybacking onto a story that's already happening in the news agenda. So if there is a big story breaking and you think as an entrepreneur, an expert, you can add your voice to that, you can ring up the news station and you can say, hi, I'm here, I know what I'm talking about and I'd love to comment on this story. So there's a little hack there for you as well.
Yes, and that is a valuable tip, because not a lot of people actually think that way. How do you tie in your story with what's happening either locally or nationally in your community? So that is an awesome, valuable tip right there. So now my next question is this is the thing that I'm learning along the way on this one is, how do you know what to give a journalist, and how do you pitch your story in regards to, what does a journalist looks for?
Okay, well, I think the first point to make here is that journalists are very time poor. Newsrooms now are under-resourced and journalists are always up against deadlines. They've got to produce stories, back-to-back stories. So you have to give them what they need. And the way to do that, is to figure out what your story is and why it's newsworthy. Like those points that I've covered off first will get you into a good position, because they will know by any pitch whether it's got legs. Is it going to be of interest to their audience, and is it newsworthy? So if you've sort of covered off the things that I've rapidly gone through in the first two questions, you're going to be in a good position to get their attention. And the best way to do that is to actually produce the story for them. Because they just don't have time. And if you can give them a pre-written, newsworthy story, written in a way that they're just going to be able to cut and paste and put on the website, or they know that they can just take that and turn that into the TV feature that you want to be in, you are doing half of the job for them. So we have press release templates available on our website to download, which I'm sure at Class PR. So because it's a very formulaic structure, and these are proven, and we have huge success rates with these. And because it's all about giving presenting the story in like the hierarchy of the news points, of the news value. So you'll start with the headline, you'll start with the main points of your story, and a headline like encapsulates the first or the main 4 or 5 main points of your story. So this is not about waffling on, giving all the background in the story. It's like, bang, this is what my story is about. You would then explain that in the opening paragraph. The lights have gone off here. I'm going to wait because I haven't moved. I don't know why it's got, but we'll carry on.
You still look good.
I still look good, thank you. I still look dark. I don't know why. Maybe there's a lot of rain outside. There might be a power cut. Give the main points of your story in the headline, then develop it in the first paragraph. So that's the first 25 words, and you need to encapsulate your whole story in those 25 words, because again, the journalist will know whether or not that's a story that will be of interest to them. And then the press release is broken down into a series of sort of next level steps and information, and you'll have your quotes in there, you'll have background information about your actual story. But like I said, it's really formulaic, but if you can do that and you can present it in that way, then you will get the attention of a journalist every single time.
Wow. Well, and you hit actually a key point right there, those 25, did you say 25 words within?
Yeah,
yes,
pretty much.
Yes, because they have to read things quickly. And,
absolutely.
And for those of us who are just writing our own story, if you will, we can go on and on and on about our story. But the thing is, journalists, they go through these emails and stuff, and they might get like, what, 200 or 300 emails a day?
Yeah,
And they don't have
exactly.
time.
No, they don't. I mean, we have a podcast with Class PR as well, and Alistair is the host of it, and he was interviewing the Guardian journalist Emma Shepherd, and she was saying her inbox is inundated with hundreds of emails each day, but she can skim through those and she can know a story from the email subject header. So here's a good point for you, just to keep your headline, just put that in the email subject header. Don't try and be too clever. I was actually reading some other blogs today on media pitches, and they were really suggesting to people to be really quirky or clever. Just don't do that. You just stick to the news facts, and that will get your email opened. So if you are having a launch event, say you're approaching the local media and you're opening a pop-up vegan cafe in, I don't know where you are, in Atlanta. So there's a famous, so something like that is enough to get a journalist's attention, the main news facts of your story. Because also at Class PR, we teach about which media is going to be interested. So we really don't recommend spamming people we only recommend tailored and personal approaches. So you need to do your research, see which journalist is likely to feature you, write about you, or have you on their show. And so what you've established as your main news points, you're sending it directly to them because you know they'll be interested in it. So never try and be don't write an email or a pitch as if you would something to get, clickbait to get more people on there. Don't be sensationalist. Just stick to the news facts.
Be to the point, straight to the point, right? Of what you're trying to say. Yes. Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, it's just that they don't have time. They're inundated, so they just want you to play by the rules of the game that they're playing. Don't try and get them interested in some, something that you've come up with in terms of digital marketing or content. Those is not selling. It's telling a story. So they're not, just to repeat that, they don't want you to sell your story to them. You just have to tell it, and it needs to hit. And as they're listening to it, they'll hear everything, and they'll know whether or not they're interested in you. It's a very instant decision because they're well trained to do that. So it's not something they're going to sit on and deliberate. They'll know within an instant if your pitch is right or not.
Exactly. And I know one of the things that journalists look for is that we have to make sure as us, we're entrepreneurs and coaches who are sending these stories to journalists, we need to also make sure that our email is coming from, let's say, a company email as opposed to, let's say, sexymama@hotmail.com or something, right?
You need to have all your professional things in place. So good email addresses, email signatures with your data. You also need to have good media photographs of yourself. Make sure they're high res, professional photos done. Maybe even a bio, pre-prepared bio. Don't send that all at once. I mean, I do recommend sending photos with your stories. So if you are doing a launch of something, or if you're having an event, send a photo of which tells the story. So I was recently working with a local care home business who were doing a community art project. So we said to the residents, be there with your paint pots and your paintbrushes, and let's have a photo that tells the story about what's going to happen. So use your photos that you send in to tell your story as well.
Right. Well, would you recommend to have, let's say, for those people out there who has businesses and have like a website, would you recommend for them to create like, a media kit using online resource, like they can have their information on their website? It could be like, let's say for me, what I did is I did irisalliston.com/media.
Yeah.
And in that space, I'll have my 150-word bio. Then I have pictures that anyone can download and utilize for PR sources or anything like that, as well as, some speaking, whatever it is that you want to share out there. Would you recommend that?
Yes, I would. And in particular, if you have a product that you're selling, or
Okay.
because you need to have like a catalogue or a library of photos. So yeah, because this depends on page layout. So you could either have your portrait or landscape style photos. Have a selection, because sometimes if your photo doesn't fit, your story will get spiked, as they say in the newsroom. It won't run. So have a selection of photos that can be used to either illustrate you, your business, your product. Have bios available, because a great thing is that once you start building up your media profile, journalists will start coming to you, and people who like what you do will want to feature you on their websites, write about you. So if you have all that available and you make it as easy as possible, then they're going to love you for that. What we do say in the first instance is don't send links to media kits for journalists, because it's just another thing that they have to click on and go to and download. If you can just give them what they need, that story and a photo that illustrates your story, then that's all you need to do in the first instance. If they need more, they will just come back to you and say, hey, this is great. Do you have this, this and this? And you say, absolutely, here's the link to my full media kit. So yeah, in the first instance, sort of go in softly, and then once you've got them engaged, then you can give them all the information that they need, and they'll really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, you have given me and everyone here, the ones who are going to be listening in later on, all these valuable tips. And I know you briefly hinted on having a template. Is that available online for anyone to
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. Everything that we teach, we make available for free at our website, which is class-pr.com. And so if you want a press release, you get the template there. If you're doing an event and you want a specific press release for an event, you can go there. We've got guides on how to find your story, how to figure out whether you're newsworthy. And I was literally just working on a big bundle, because we have templates. So just before this call, we were working on bringing all of our templates together in one pack of a bundle. So you could have every single template that we've done to download as well. So we've got all of those there. We've got courses there. We've got a course which you can literally take you from beginner right through to PR Pro. It's called the Famous Course, and that's specifically for small businesses, entrepreneurs or founders, people who need to understand and learn to do PR. And then there's also a press release masterclass if you want a bit more help. If you've got the template, but you need a little bit more information, Alistair talks you through exactly what to put in a press release there. So we've got loads of stuff on the website for you.
I know, and which is what I love, because I have been browsing your website, for the past few days, and you and Alistair have provided a lot of us, valuable information that will really help us learn and how to take our business to another level by learning how to do our own PR, especially for the ones who are just starting out or on a shoestring budget. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the greatest bits of feedback that we have from people who do, first of all, people just come to us looking for PR, but actually then when they realize how we can help them shape their story, shape their messaging, it really transforms their whole business actually, because it's how they position themselves in front of their audiences in the marketplace. So whilst you think, and because it's one of the most rewarding things, because whilst you think you're just here maybe to get media coverage or just here to do something else, you're actually learning how to position your business. And that's what gives me great, joy really, because I can see these businesses benefit and grow, and it's just fantastic. I love it.
Yes. So let me go ahead and share your information, because I know you actually have a special offer for my audience. For my listeners. Yes. So first of all, thank you so much. You didn't have to do this, but I'm so thankful. I really am thankful. And I know a lot of my listeners and viewers will be thankful of you as well. And for those who want to get more information on what Gemma does, as well as her and her husband, definitely go to their website, and they also have a special offer. So I'm going to go ahead and briefly tell you about that. And the special offer to go to is bit.ly/PR famous. And again, for those listeners, later on, I'm going to be providing you a copy of the slides, so you can just click through the link and then it will take you to that website. But, and this is what it is, the special offer is about Gemma giving us 30% on her best-selling famous course online. And let me tell you though, it is phenomenal. She gives us step-by-step information, and it's not just one training. This is multiple trainings, multiple modules that you can look to, and then just, take your time as far as learning along the way. But it is a comprehensive course, and I'm so super excited to actually, and thankful that she has offered this for us. So thank you so much, Gemma. Thank you.
That's a pleasure. And I think most of the things that we've spoken about today, like where to find your story, if you look at the image there, you'll see the first circle is Story Finder. That shows you how to find your story. Then the next circle there is Story Viewer. That shows you what how to see whether that story is newsworthy. And then Story Grader, that shows you how to plan it and see which media will be interested in it. Story Planner tells you how to do your PR plan, where you're going to do, and the story itself there is the press release, how to write your story, and then it goes on to Story Picture, so how to pitch your story to the media. So it's something that you can do all as one, and it will give you a complete overview of PR. Or if you just need a bit of it, you can drop in, I really need to find my story, I'm going to look at this, or I need help with pitching. You can just go straight to that module. So it's something there for any level of PR, really.
Right, and you have given us those step-by-steps, the strategies that we need, so that's amazing. Okay, let me go ahead and also share this. For those of you who would like to learn more from Gemma and Alistair, go ahead and click on this link. Again, I'll be giving you the slides here. But for those who are just listening, let me go ahead and tell you what they are. The website to go to is class-pr.com. So, oh, wait a minute. Gemma, do you say dash, or is it, I always get these confused. Is that hyphen?
Yeah, we say hyphen. Yeah, because the dash is, so it's just a little lot, yeah.
So let me repeat that. It's class-pr.com. So that's her website. And then on Twitter, if you want to spark a conversation with Gemma, it's twitter.com. They're supposed to have a .com there. At Class PR HQ, like headquarters. So Class PR HQ. And then for her episodes, because let me tell you though, she provides a lot of free episodes that you can definitely learn from her. And it's the website for that is class-pr.com. So, yes, that's it. That is it. Well, I think that is all I have there to share as far as the slides, because I need to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But yes, thank you so much, Gemma. So, okay, one more thing. What would be, can you give us one main takeaway for those that learning about PR? Can you give us just one awesome tip, one last tip?
Yeah, well, just in summary, I think it's believe that you have a story, because you do. You just need to think about where you can find it in your business and how you can make sure it's newsworthy. And if you check off the criteria that I've listed in today's show, you will be able to present that to a journalist and they will be interested. So you have a story, so believe in it and go out and pitch it.
Absolutely. All right, everyone, thank you so much for listening and or watching this show. I hope this is valuable for you. So go ahead, if you want to get in touch with Gemma and learn more from her, definitely don't hesitate to contact her because she has awesome knowledge to share with you. So thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you again soon.